All right, guys, welcome back to it again today. Let me turn that down just a touch. We were just a little bit on the loud side. All right. So for everybody, good day and welcome back to our live stream series on using Trimble SketchUp with Trimble Forensics Reveal. So I'm your host, Chris Lutz, on this week's live stream. And today we got a fun one here where we're going to be using SketchUp on the iPad to document a scene in a room, and then very quickly maybe do a little bit of cleanup, a little extra modeling, and then send that textured room right over into Reveal. And this one's going to be fun. So in the course of an hour here, we're going to get this thing all completely done, documented, a one-room crime scene, textured, modeled, and into Reveal using nothing but an iPad and a SketchUp subscription. So, again, my name's Chris Lutz, and I'm going to be your host for this. So, one of the questions that comes up is, what plan do I need to be able to do this, right? What do I need to buy in order to be able to do what we're going to do today? So, what we're going to do today, if all you're wanting to do is web-based modelers and the iPad, all you would need would be SketchUp Go. And we have that for $119 a year. You can buy it online. You get access to the model warehouse, VR viewer. All of this stuff is really cool being able to do these things in VR as well. So it's a good time. So you could do this, really just about everything we're doing today you could do with SketchUp Go. However, what I'm going to also do is take this over into the desktop application. Not the web application, but the installed desktop application, along with the iPad. So for that one, you would need the SketchUp Pro license to be able to take it over and use the desktop software like I'm going to do today. Otherwise, if you didn't want to use the desktop software, you just wanted to do all of this with the web and the iPad, SketchUp Go would get the job done. Okay, so I need to talk about this just a little bit. So what I'm going to be using, is the SketchUp for, wow, that's a little of my green screen here. So I'm going to be using SketchUp for iPad. And this should work. So SketchUp for the iPad, I'm just using a iPad Pro with LiDAR here. And I'm going to be going over into a room that we've set up with a mock crime scene. And really, I've just placed some evidence markers in the next room. And what we're going to do there is we are going to document the scene using the iPad Pro with LiDAR. And just walk around. I'm going to scan the scene. You guys are going to be able to see the screen of the iPad while I'm doing this, in addition to seeing me walk around and move within the room. So you kind of get a feel for how the SketchUp for iPad's scan to design feature works. And then when we get done with that, we should hopefully get a pretty good model out of it. And then from there, we're going to bring it back and I may be able to, well, I don't have my stylus that's working. So I probably won't clean it up on the iPad at all. I'm just going to send it to the desktop application. So when we're done with that, we're going to come back in here and we're going to just bring it into the desktop SketchUp application. And then we're going to, if we need to do any cleanup, we shouldn't, but if we need to do any cleanup, if we need to do any subsequent modeling or additional modeling to it, we'll do that back here in the office. Okay, and then, after that, we're going to take the whole thing, we're going to take it into Reveal, and we're going to do that in way under an hour. So that's enough of the introduction. Give me about 30 seconds here. I'm going to get up, go into the next room, and we're going to get this thing modeling. I'm going to take my iPad into the next room with me. Give me just a second to fire that up over there. And then once I'm fired up and ready, like I said, it's going to take me about 30 seconds, hopefully, about 30 seconds to get up, set up over there. I'll drop back in here on the live stream. And we'll do this thing live, and I will be right back with you. So give me just a second, and I'll be right over. All right, guys, we're back. So we are in our mock crime scene room here, and I've got kind of my laptop that's doing the streaming right here down to my right. So if you see me looking down here, I'm checking the stream to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, and on this side, you guys should be seeing the readout from my iPad screen. So this is an iPad Pro with LiDAR. So the key to make this work is having an iPad Pro with LiDAR. So you're going to see my iPad Pro screen here, and you're going to see me on camera. Now you can kind of see part of this here in a moment. When you watch my screen, you'll see the other things that are just off the screen down over here, and also on the other side of the frame as well. Okay, so on my screen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new SketchUp project. And from here, there is something called Scan to Design. So if you don't see it in the toolbox on the bottom left, I'm going to tap on the three dots here, and I am going to click into Scan to Design. And from here, we are scanning. So right now, you're kind of seeing the things that are off of your frame. And you work just like you're painting a wall. I'm going to fill in just a little bit back here to get some of the floor. Back in that corner, looks good. Continue on with the bed. And again, just moving it along here. Get down under there, there we go. And you're starting to pick up my laptop here. And there you're seeing my camera, so that's going to blow out the image. And then just right around here. Or start, and then down on the bottom right, I just tap on Done. And this processing could take a couple minutes depending on what you have selected, whether your level of detail is very high. It really depends on your level of detail, really, and how large of an area. Now, you can do up to an entire house floor. I haven't quite gotten that far yet. Most of the things I've done here have been just approximate, or just small rooms, small scenes. And so now when we look around here, we can look at our results of what we got. Now, some of the settings I have turned on here is to include the other stuff in the room. It's not looking too bad. Now, I did have an area down here in the bottom where I didn't get that chest very well. But overall, we're looking pretty good. And you guys saw how fast that was. I mean, we can't really modify time in a live stream, right? There's not a lot we can do there. But what I might do here is take all of this, and I'm going to erase it and start over with a new design. And this time I'm going to do a little bit more work down here in the bottom, at least just below off to the frame. So we will get started here. And there it's giving me the notice of how to work with this. And if you go too fast, it will tell you. It will most definitely tell you if you're going too fast. So we can fill in this back area. Continue on up. And hopefully I'm not going off frame here. I apologize, I'm not looking at it. I don't have my producers in my ear to give me the, hey dummy, you're going off the edge of the frame. Here again, just moving it around the room. Come down this side of the bed. Make sure to get that, and we'll just go back up. Sweeping down, getting that evidence marker. Coming on up. to be super close when I do this either. I can get a ways back. Here you're going to see camera and microphone. Make sure to get that bookshelf really well. And then we're back to our start. So from here I hit done. And we'll let our results process. And it really is that fast, guys. It's that fast to document a scene. Now, what we're not doing here is we're not getting this sub-centimeter. It may look like it, but no, we're not documenting this sub-centimeter. We're not working this the way that we would, with a terrestrial laser scanner, a tripod laser scanner. We set a true proper laser scanner down in the center of the room and you capture it. That is not what we're doing here. Okay, and we are not going to pretend like this is terrestrial laser scanner quality or terrestrial laser scanner accuracy and precision. It's not. Okay, and I'm not going to fill you full of smoke or give you smoke and mirrors that this is just as good as a terrestrial laser scan. It's not. Okay. However, for a scene where we're looking to get approximate, right? We're looking to get close, but we're not looking for splitting millimeters here. And overall, doesn't look too bad. Now, I do have this bit of geometry out here. We'll go in and we'll clean that up here momentarily. But for the most part, we were able to capture the things that were on the desk, including the location of the evidence marker. We have evidence marker D up here. So that's captured. We have our walls, so you're seeing these walls that are in as planes, so we've already got a start on our model. And just to make sure, we've got evidence marker B down here on the bed. Cycle over here, and we do have evidence marker A. Zoom back out here. There we go. So we've got the evidence markers A and B where we can place them. And overall, this looks pretty good. For a rough cursory, if you were to do, I would equate this to a field sketch, right? We're doing a field sketch of where things are approximately within the scene. Again, we're not splitting millimeters here, but this is a good field sketch. And in fact, our field sketch is now part of our model. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I find this just a little bit easier. I'm more familiar with doing it on the desktop software. Or the office software, I guess you could call it. Now, I don't have my stylus with me right now, but if I had my stylus, I could go in here and I could start moving walls and finishing my diagram with nothing more than a pencil, okay, or a stylus to make this happen. Unfortunately, I don't have that here with me right now. But you could, if you notice on the left side of the iPad screen here, we do have the tools for drawing rectangles, drawing lines, drawing circles, pushing and pulling. We have that option to do that right here, right now. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have my stylus and I'm not very good with my finger doing it. So I find it easier in the office side, so that's where we're going to go. So give me about 30 seconds or so to just get out the door and around back into my office, and we will join back up with you. We're going to clean this up just a little bit and add some other little details in there, such as the bookcase. I think we're going to model the bookcase out. As in looking at it, we got okay, but I want to model that bookcase out just a little bit better and clean this up. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go clean this up. Give me just a couple seconds here to get back over into my office, and I'll be right back with you. Give me a sec. Okay, whew. All right, little out of breath, get running in here, and I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. So, okay, now that we've got that done, got everything set down. Now, what I forgot to show everybody was that I was creating this project inside of Trimble Connect, and when I hit save on the model, it went to Trimble Connect. And let me get my SketchUp open here. All right, I've got SketchUp open on the top left side. My model is here. It was saved as untitled2.skp. I didn't give it a name, but it's here. It's ready to go. So I'll click on it. We'll load it up from Trimble Connect, and I'm off and running. What was that? About, less than, we're looking about I think it was about a minute ago that I hit save on it. It was darn close. And the advantage here is that we're not working with point clouds. We're working with models, and models are very, very small as far as the file size goes. And the great thing about working with these models is that we're not transporting just tons and tons and tons of data around. We're not moving, 4 gigabytes of information around. We're moving around small stuff here. It really is small stuff. It's small. Oh, let's see here. I got to hit you in geometry. Okay. It's very small in the file size. We're not dealing in big stuff. It's small. It's easy to transport. Now, something to think about here is how fast could we get this to our commander that may be on the other side of the state? How fast could we get this to the prosecutor, right? We'd finish up scanning a scene, and if our prosecutor is part of this Trimble Connect project, the prosecutor has access to it the moment that it's done uploading, which for the model of this size, we're talking about a few seconds. If you're on a cellular connection, if you're on Wi-Fi, you're even faster than that. So yeah, our model is loaded here. Now, we did have, I noticed when I was doing my scanning, I noticed kind of a lens flare that went across the screen from my camera lights. And yeah, that's what caused this. So we've got a little bit of work to do here in cleaning this up. So in our canvas scan, we've got surfaces and we've got meshes. If we turn the meshes on and off, excuse me. The meshes, let me go ahead and hide our ceiling here. So I'm gonna, let's see here, view, hidden geometry. So we'll turn off that hidden geometry, and we'll just double click to go in here. And it looks like we have our ceiling. Now, if I move in here, yeah, we did get our ceiling. So I just want to hide that. So I will take that. Let's see here. I want to hide my hidden objects. There we go. And I just want to hide that just so I can get in here and I can do some modeling. Okay, when we scan, if you have your scanning set up so that you get the extra stuff in the room is what they call it. You get, and sorry, Ty, gotta make you go away here. If you have the extra stuff, those are going to be represented as meshes. And then the other parts, the flat objects, you may have noticed while I was scanning, it was giving you kind of a grid and showing you where the surfaces were. SketchUp generates those as flat walls, so flat objects. And I really, really love that I can go in and get these as just flat objects. I find that really cool. Okay, right now I have some meshes in here that I would like to clean up. Let's see here, let's close that and let's turn our surfaces off. There we go. And these are our meshes. I'm just going to double click down in here until I find that mesh. I'm going to make that one go away. And a couple others down here I wanted to make go away because they didn't really contribute much of anything to the scene. They were reflections off my lights and all of that good stuff. So we had a couple up here. Turn those off. And if I need to see my surfaces, I can. So here I'm just cleaning up my meshes if there's any additional meshes that I want to make go away. And that's looking pretty good. Now I had a lamp here. Excuse me. If I wanted to, I could clean that up, but I'm going to close it, close the group. And we're happy enough. I wanted to hide the meshes. Excuse me. And then we've got our meshes hidden. All right, there's a few things I want to do to kind of solidify this model. The first one is kind of closing this in. I want to close that thing in here. So I'm going to make this a box. I'm going to inference this. Actually, I find this easier. I'm just going to do it just drawing a line over on the edge. I'll go down on my Z over to here, here, and back up. Looks good. Next, what I'll do is create a rectangle here that goes up, and I'll go from that endpoint to that endpoint to just close that in. Looks good. Now for my paint bucket, I want to create a new material. I'll bring this up here and I'll call this green. And for that, I want to go get a, I don't know. Yeah, I'll darken that green up so it fits something along that line. Okay, or I might be able to just hit the eyedropper here. Nope, definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, so if I sample all these, it's going to be a bad day. Okay, in this green color, I want to pick a color on the screen. And I really love this because for these textures, I can pick a green that's kind of close. And then from there, just fill that in. And it looks like I didn't. I see. So this isn't quite perfectly aligned. I can live with that. Let's just do this. I'll select all those, hit delete. And then from here, I want to rotate this so that it is parallel with the other one. So I'll click here to here. There we go. So I'll make that so that it is on the green axis. And now, if I draw that in again, I should get a should get what I want here. There we go. It looks like I need to reorient my axis here. So there's a few different ways to go about this. I am going to, let's just go backwards here. Control Z, and I'll just Control Z it back. I want to rotate or change my drawing axis. So this is X, that's Y. All right. There to the edge. And we'll go vertical. It's there. And there, back up. That looks great to me. And then I'll do the same thing here. There. Back up that endpoint. Outstanding. And now I've got my green color here, so I'll just make those nice and green. Looks good. Now, I don't necessarily need this texture to be here. I don't need it to be a photo texture. So I'm just going to use this color green for the whole stinking thing. Zoomed up here. And if I wanted to, oh, why not? So we'll just fill this in. Same thing, color green. Okay. So now I took that area that wasn't quite scanned all the way and we made her green. All right. There's this area here of the floor. So let's come in and clean this up. Delete that. This is my ground here. Let's see here, view, we'll do hidden objects and hidden geometry. Go, so I should be able to move that in. I'll go my red axis and I'll just trim that up just a bit so I'm not, I don't have any floor that goes on the outside. I'll do the same thing with this edge right here. I'll just hit M to move and I'll just move it over. Again, just trimming that up just a touch. Okay, now we've got our lens flares to get rid of, so I'll just delete that and delete that. Looking good. Now here we've got the edge of our door. Since the door was open while I was doing it, kind of had the edge of the door. So I'm going to delete that recognized plane. I don't really need a photo texture on this wall. I want to leave the photo texture there for the moment being. Okay, I've got this wall here that I want to edit just a little bit. So I want to take this. I want to take this line and I want to move it out on the green axis out to there so it completes this green wall. Next, what I'm going to do, I don't want to do this. All right, what I will do is I'm going to create a rectangle here for the door cutout. There you go, and I'll just hit delete there, and that makes a nice open door. Now from here, we didn't get the backside of the door because, well, the door was open, oddly enough. So I'm going to draw this up so that now, excuse me, I've got this open area here, and I am just going to paint bucket that green. It isn't a perfect match, but it isn't too bad either. Okay, next comes our bookshelf. Now, I didn't get too far in depth with that bookshelf. You know, we kind of have our heights there, so I'll just use this as a guide more than anything. What I'll do is I'm just going to draft up a bookshelf here real quick. I'll use that as a guide for about how deep it is. There we go. And I'll just hit P to push pull. Rotate around, and now I know where the top of it is. All I'm doing is just using this thing as a guide. I'm just going to push pull this in just a touch so I can see where the shelves are supposed to be. Next, what I'll do, this one. You know, I'm not going to get too crazy with this. Let's see, I'll do 1/2 inch. Then from here, I'll take the end point, I'll draw that side down. The edge there. The same thing over here. 0.5, enter. That end point, and I'll just go all the way to the floor with it. Now, not all the way to the floor. I want it to be perpendicular with that one. Looking good. It looks like we go down to about here for a top shelf, maybe. Top shelf appeared to be just a little bit thicker. Next, what I'll do is I'll just do the same thing here. My red axis, so there's my edge. Here. Again, if this was all that critical, I would spend more time on it, but it isn't that critical, so I'm not going to. Oh, missed it. So I needed to go from the edge here, that intersection, over there. Okay, next what I'm going to do is create my shelves. So I'll say here, I'll select that line. And that one, I'll do an M. I'll hit the Control key, and that will create a copy of these. And I'm just going to move them down 1/2 inch. Now I can take this, 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 and this, and push pull. Oh. I'll just do them one at a time here. And I'll push pull them back. Let's see here. So that's 4 1/4. So I'll just do approximately 4 inches. Oop, that was 4 feet. Sorry. 4 inches. There we go. That one 4 inches. This one 4 inches. This one 4 inches. Enter. And last thing I will do here is take the front edges, because I didn't quite make these deep enough. So I will just clean up those lines. You know what I should do? I should just get my meshes out of the way. There, that helps. And again, if this bookshelf was critical here, I would do more with it, but it's not critical, so I'm not. All right, using my mesh as a guide, I'm going to click the front face. I'm going to hit P for push pull, and I'll push pull this out using my mesh as a guide. Ish. It's right about there. That looks good. Now I'll just take this whole stinking thing, right click, make it a group. And then from there, I'm going to take the paint bucket. I'm going to go get a new wood, maybe. Yeah, wood veneer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. Okay, and from here, if I needed to, put in evidence markers, there are 3D evidence markers you can grab from the 3D warehouse. But for me, on this one, I am going to back out of it. I'm going to take this line here. Yeah, I'm going to take this line and I'm going to soften it. And what that does is it doesn't create such a harsh outline, I guess. That's what I was going to do with this wall. This wall was driving me nuts. All right, I'm going to get into this wall here, and I am going to, in my materials here, I'm going to say the materials in my model. I'm going to go find my green. I'm just going to green that out. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, in reality, I could probably just green this wall. You know what? That's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to green this wall. Because there isn't much point in just taking that thing and having it be what it is. I mean, it's green, for the love of God. I don't really feel the need to go super crazy with it. Okay, we have this. Let me close that group and close it. Okay, we've got a lamp here, so let's go see if we can find from the model warehouse. Doesn't need to be exact, but if we can just find a lamp that we could even modify. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we got her here. So we got a lamp here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Abso-stinking-lutely. Let's get this in. And next what I'll do is just move that over. I think we do need to scale this puppy just a little. Oh, yeah, we got to scale it. Get back through the wall here. Zoom out. There we go. All right, so let's hit S, and I'm going to scale this lamp down so that it is the correct height. And next I'll scale from here. Go from the sides, and that's 0.59. I'll scale from this one a negative 0.59. There we go. I'm liking that. Next what we'll do is go back into my meshes here. I'll hit that, and I'm just going to hit delete because, well, it's not needed to be there anymore. Oh, yeah. I like it. Okay, let's lighten this thing up just a little bit. So I'm going to create a new material, and I'll call it lamp. From the color wheel, it's kind of a cream color, maybe? A light cream color. We'll hit that, and we'll just lighten that puppy up. And we now have our lamp replaced. So the scan didn't pick it up, but we can put that model in. Now, if I wanted to, I could take this mesh and get rid of this filing cabinet, but I think I'm just going to leave the cabinet as is. I could do the same thing over here with this lamp too. Let's do that. So I'm just double clicking here to get it down far enough in. Hit delete, and I'll close out of those groups. Looks good. Next, I will just take this lamp and hit Control, and that will copy the lamp. I'm just going to drag my other lamp. Go in here. There we go. I want to slide that on my green axis here. Slide over just a touch. Obviously it wasn't through the surface, so I'll do one of these. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, and there are other things I could do here, you know, if I needed punch holes for the doors or the windows, but I'm just going to leave those textured. But for the most part, this thing looks pretty good. I'm going to close out of everything here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send this to Reveal. So we learned our lesson from last week. So I'm going to go and view hidden geometry and view hidden objects. And what do you know? There's our ceiling. So I want our ceiling to go away because I want a dollhouse view. And this is part of our floor here. And I'll move that. So I hit M, and I'm just shortening this up. That axis, and I will just shorten this one up. Hit M. I'll shorten that one up on the red axis. Looking good. Close that group, close the group. Looks like I've got some hidden stuff in here. That's in the meshes group, so I am going to take all of these. Because I didn't have that hidden geometry turned on, it didn't get rid of it, so I'll hit that. I'll just hit delete. Same thing here, I got a couple out here, so I'll hit delete. These other meshes. Oh, I'm going to make those go away. Well, nah, on second thought, I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them because they blend in well enough that I don't see the need to get crazy with it. Now, if I wanted to model that headboard and make that headboard mesh go away, I could, but it works for me. Okay, so I am going to save as, and I want to save this just on my desktop here right quick. I'll save this as iPad scan, and I'll save this as an SKP. Looking good. Looking really good. Okay, now let's go to reveal. So I'm going to come over here to reveal. Let me find that in the bottom right here. Transition over. There we go. So now let's go to draw, models. I'm going to go get a SketchUp model from a file on disk. I'm going to browse. And I'll come in here and I'll go to my desktop. And there's my iPad scan.skp. Now this is 30 megabytes. This one's pretty good sized. So we'll see how long this takes to reveal again. My machine is working pretty hard right now as far as encoding, decoding video, managing the stream. It's working pretty hard. So this might take just a wee bit. Now, some of the things, if you are importing meshes into your scenes, one of the things in the scan to design is you can choose how many or how dense that mesh is going to be, how many faces or facets you're going to have. Now, if your ultimate guide is reveal, having a ton of faces, while it does give you quite a bit of detail, just keep in mind that reveal may need a little bit of work in order to get it there. So, all right. Not real sure what I'm seeing here. So this is unique the way that this one is set. So let me. You know what, I'm just going to try this. I may have something hidden that I didn't. Something hidden that I didn't make go away. Yeah, I've got something hidden in there that I did not make go away, which was my fault. All right, let's transition back here. All right, let's go to view, hidden. I've got those hidden. All right, let's go into that model. You know what I'm going to do here is I am just going to explode all of this and see where it lands me. All right, so that's where I want it to be. I'll close that. I know I've got some stuff hiding out here somewhere. Ah, that's why. All right. Let's get in here and make a few changes to... I'm going to try something here. Let's say that. So I want to go up into my tags and get my surfaces here. There we go. All right, so my room plan, this kind of gives me some basic geometry here, and it looks like my room plan is off just a little bit. So I'm going to take my room plan, I'm going to move this so that it is lined up, and then I'm going to rotate it. Rotate it around, and it looks like I need to move it. There we go. All right, so our room plan is nothing but basically blocks, and it gives us the blocky walls and all of that good stuff. I'm actually going to delete that and delete those. Looking good. Now the furniture, it does to auto tag my furniture for me, which I find is really, really cool. My room plan, my room, my objects, all of that good stuff. I made those go away. Turn my ceiling off. Make sure everything is on. My doors are on. I made my ceiling go away. All right, we should be set now. So I will just save that. Let's go back over to Reveal and get that imported. Now, if we were going deeper, this would actually be easier if we were going deeper. Unfortunately, I'm kind of time constrained on what I can do. But the room plan is a really, really cool thing that it, in essence, gives you that SketchUp geometry, that blocky geometry right off the get-go. Or the basic models anyway, right from the get-go. So that little block area or that bump out area where the ductwork is on the ceiling, it would already have that in there, which I find immensely helpful when I've got to do a bunch of modeling or I need to, fill in areas. The room plan is a very nice way to go about it. But for this instance, I really want to do textured meshes in Reveal. I really want to show you what that looks like when we take those textured meshes in. Because we're already set. We already have our colors the way that we want them to be. We've already got things where we want them. All we're doing now is then just placing avatars, evidence markers, things of that sort in there. Excuse me. So we'll get this, hopefully we can get her in here, reprocessed. So my level of detail when I scanned this was a pretty high level of detail. So I'm getting a lot of polygons, right? A lot of faces. Excuse me. And those faces all have to be loaded into Reveal, the textures loaded, all of that stuff. And loading up all of those textures and that kind of thing takes a little bit. And if your computer isn't the fastest and you have it encoding and decoding a bunch of video, well, it can be on the struggle bus just a little bit. So if I would have planned this one ahead just a little bit more and I known that I was using this machine today, I would have dialed back the faces on the mesh just a little bit, simplified things when I was gathering my data. Again, this isn't a deal breaker, but it takes us just a little bit to wait. Again, bad planning on my part on a live stream. So just a moment here, and we should have it loaded in. In the meantime, if you can get some of the housekeeping things out of the way. So if you find these videos useful, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us gauge, what things are useful to you, what things aren't, based upon the amount of people that like the video, subscribe to it, that kind of thing. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever platform you're watching this on, if you have any questions on anything, be sure to drop them in the comments. All of these webinars, we keep them recorded, so you can keep referring back to them. It really helps us with the comments. Again, if you have any questions on anything, if there's something that doesn't quite make sense, anything along that line, please put a comment in, or if there's something you'd like to see, if you go, hey, that's really cool, but I would like to see it if you could. I'd like to see this. I'd like to see this taken further, and I'd like to see you do. Our last episode that we're going to have on our 12 video series is what I call Open Line Wednesday, where we open it up, basically, and I take your comments, your suggestions, things like that, and we do stuff with them. So, all right, are going to ask us to pick our side. Not like it matters much. The big one is the top and bottom. So we're going to do the top, which is side 6. So we're looking at it from the top in. And I think I may have messed that up, but we're going to be just fine. Because if need to, I will just flip this 180 degrees, and it'll be in our custom library. I apologize, guys. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to kind of do things a little loosey-goosey here. Normally, this took longer than what I thought. Normally, I would really just, I hate to use the term, but really just very detailed here. and how I do it. Unfortunately, I'm kind of running out of time. So we'll go to our custom models. And I'm just going to come down here. There's my iPad scan. And I will get it placed. Zoomed in here, and I may have to jump into a 3D view. And it looks like I did it with the ceiling still on it. So I'll take that and I'll flip it. Yeah, apparently I exported it with the ceiling still on it. So I'll roll that 180. Yeah, so to get my dollhouse view, I'll have to go in and remove the ceiling, but I now have my model in Reveal. So for my reveal, I could go to Draw Models, and I could put avatars in here. I could put my crime scene photos in here as evidence markers. Really, I can do just about anything in here that I want. There we go. I'm getting moved around, get him in here. And get him dropped in. Again, this stinks because I didn't get the ceiling sliced off like I had hoped. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But from there, we now have the ability to, like I said, place objects inside. I apologize I didn't get the ceiling sliced off. But here we have our scene in Reveal ready to go. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm up against a hard stop, so I've got to let you guys go. But hopefully this was helpful for you. Hopefully we gave you something useful anyway, and the basic process on how to get from an iPad scan into Reveal using a textured mesh and doing it very quickly. Here we're just a hair under an hour. We're set, and I mean, that included the breaks, that included lots of explanation. In reality, you can get this done very quickly in about 5 minutes. If you're clicking on it, again, using a Trimble Connect, where you go from the iPad up to Trimble Connect, it's ready for you in the office, and you knock it out in the office, and you're done, right? And then we're over into Reveal, and we're getting things done in Reveal. 5 minutes is not uncommon in order to get all this done for a basic room like we did here. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, please put them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Sorry guys, I gotta run. I wish I could go a little bit longer on this one and really get it cleaned up, but again, questions, comments, complaints, concerns, please put them in the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Talk to you later.